morning, good evening, good afternoon, Five Towns community. How are we? Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks, guys, for joining me today on our Five Towns Common Hour Online. You catch us here on Facebook Live every Thursday at 7 p.m. New time. Facebook Live at 7 p.m. You can also always check out older episodes on YouTube TV. We archive all these on YouTube TV and Instagram TV. We love having people from the Five Towns community on the show. Love it. Notice I am showing you with my hands. So please, if you want to come on, you have any thoughts, a song you want to perform, a play you want to read, you just want to chit-chat a little bit about nonsense, well, maybe not that one. But anyway, we do want to hear from you. Any ideas at all. So please send us an email, campusevents@ftc.edu, campusevents@ftc.edu. We would absolutely love to get some ideas for the show or possibly have you guys come on. So anyway, it would be a drastic understatement to say that this next person was not my favorite person at Five Towns College, because he has very quickly become that. I've only been at Five Towns for about a year and a half, guys, and our first guest today is Dr. Steve Briody, an incredibly accomplished musician, a magnificent guitar player, and all around, I'm going to say, great guy. Steve Briody, are you there?
I am here.
God,
thank you very much. What a pleasure this is.
Always, Steve. Honestly, man, you really, I love talking to you so much, genuinely. So anytime I can have you come on is a real treat.
Thank you. First, may I compliment you on the stellar vocal stylings you added to that video last week.
Well, thank you, Dr. Briody. I do appreciate that. And let me go again and yet compliment you, sir. And let everybody know that the vocal harmonies that I was singing behind my lead were broken apart and guided to me by none other than, no one's going to believe this, Dr. Steve Briody. I won't back down. I won't back. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. I won't back. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. So this is pretty interesting. So after, as you, Steve, know, I'll explain to the audience, basically after we had everything set with that Five Towns message and the song medley that we all kind of put together, you messaged me and were like, hey, you got to check this out. This is something that the Five Towns Jazz Orchestra has been working on. So can you explain what that video that you sent me was and that we're going to see in a little bit here?
Of course. Well, our Jazz Orchestra is an audition-only ensemble at Five Towns, so it really has some of our top-level musicians in it. It has graduate students and undergrads, and actually the ensemble was discontinued in mid-March because of everything. Sure. So then just a few weeks later, I heard from our trumpet player, who's a music education major, Rob Mutarelli, and he sent me a text saying that we're trying to organize our band actually, to make one of those remote recordings. We had seen one that Berkeley had done, and Rob said, oh, we have the same idea. I think we can do it. And I just told him, any way that I can help, let me know.
So they actually chose the song, or did you choose the song?
They chose the song. It was a song that we were rehearsing for our upcoming concert. We had about 5 or 6 different pieces. We had an interesting concert coming up. We were going to have the singer from Tower of Power was going to actually sing a Tower of Power song with us. And we were doing something, yeah, believe it or not.
That's awesome.
And we were practicing something by Chick Corea, and then Juliana Guerri was going to sing something by Nora Jones. And Rob and Philippe, so Rob and Philippe chose this piece, All Right, Okay, and it was going to be sung by Kelly Wask, who's an amazing student vocalist, incredible. Is, yeah. He's already a professional singer at her age, and so they said, yeah, we'd like to try to do this song, and so I said, any way I could help. And so really they were the organizational force behind this. And so really all I did was collect the parts and did the audio mixing, but all of the organization was them. And then they also, of course, Philippe and Rob put together the video component of it too. And I was very impressed when I saw that. So.
Yeah. And honestly, Briody, I think of you as a musician, certainly as a guitar player, arranger, but I don't think of you as a mixing guy. But the mix on that was really good, man. You did a great job mixing it.
Thanks for saying that. It's something I've been doing, but I don't really have the expert of, say, someone like John Machado, who's the audio chair. I don't have that kind of, I'm nowhere in that territory.
No,
absolutely. I just go by what I would like to hear placement wise, and so.
Yeah, you have a great ear for it. So just a couple quick questions about the jazz orchestra itself before we actually get more to the video. So for that orchestra, they have to audition for it, right? Or do you guys handpick everybody? How does it work?
I kind of handpick everyone. And then if there's a new student whom I haven't heard, I'll say, come on into a room. Let me hear you. And we kind of pick the members based on that. And there's just such a wide variety of students in there. Because we have our piano player is actually a professor, Yuki Yamaguchi, but he's a doctoral candidate. So he's technically also a student. So we have some professional level players.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is that if we have less experienced younger guys, they get a chance to play with those excellent players. And it's, they're great role models for the younger musicians.
I'm sure. I was going to ask about that because when I saw the video for the first time, and I saw he looked a little bit older, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And I thought he was an instructor, which obviously he is, but he was great as well. And I love the fact that it's a little bit of everybody. It's not just kids who are there for their bachelor's. That it is like a gamut of a whole bunch of different people, which is fantastic.
Right, and that's what I think brings the group to the high level is having some of the older guys. Our drummer Glenn Chiarello is a music teacher in Plainview. And he's a doctoral student as well. So awesome. To have people like that serve as a great example for the younger players.
Yeah. So one or two more before we bring on Philippe and Rob. Prior to this whole COVID situation, how often does the jazz orchestra actually perform live?
Well, we rehearse twice a week.
Okay.
And since the music is so difficult, the rehearsals are very intense and very concentrated. At the same time, we have a good time with each other, but
sure.
But we rehearse very seriously, and the students take it very seriously as well.
Sure. I mean, but do you do a lot of live, like playing for people, in Five Towns, a lot of concerts at Five Towns, outside of Five Towns, or is it pretty exclusive?
No, some of our smaller groups go out to and play concerts elsewhere. So Mark Silverberg's Chamber Singers, it's a little bit easier to just have vocalists kind of travel to a school and whatnot. But, our group has like 18, 19 people.
Yeah.
And all the equipment. So it's very hard to do. So some of the smaller groups, actually some of our jazz combos only have 4 or 5 people in them. They sometimes play at a club called Treme.
Sure.
Islip. Mm-hmm. And vocal jazz also with Professor Christy Adams. They sometimes are able to go and do some outside concerts too.
But so now with everything that's been going on with the whole COVID thing and having to basically communicate the way you and I are communicating right now, how outside of this specific video, are you still meeting twice a week with these students and arranging things with them? How is that working for you now?
No, actually not. That was the amazing thing about this is because the class was discontinued. So that was it. I just some ensembles that we have that are smaller did continue, and there was a way to do that remotely, but our group is so large we couldn't do it. And so that's what I think is so remarkable about what Rob and Philippe aimed to do was that class was over technically, but they still wanted to do this.
That's awesome. Well, we are actually going to take a look at the video right now, so everybody take a look-see.
One, two.
Well, alright, okay, you win. I'm in love with you. Well, alright, okay, you win. Oh, baby, what can I do? Anything you say, I'll do, as long as it's me and you. Well, alright, okay, you win. I'm in love with you. Well, alright, okay, you win. Oh, baby, what can I do? Anything you do, I'll say, from you is just love me like I love you, and it won't be hard to do. Well, alright, okay, you win. What are we waiting for? Alright, okay, you win. Oh, baby, one thing more. If you're gonna be my man, sweet baby, take me by the hand. Alright, okay, you win. Well, alright, okay, you win. If you're gonna be my man, sweet baby, take me by the hand. Well, alright, okay, you win.
Here are two members from the FTC Jazz Orchestra that are very, very much responsible for what you just saw, Rob Mutarelli and Philippe Rondon. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here, guys. Seriously, that was, I said it to you privately before this started, but I was incredibly impressed when I saw what you guys were able to put together. Very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So maybe walk me through this a little bit. I know that obviously you could not have the entire jazz orchestra, or not everybody was actually able to participate. So who were the players in the video we just saw?
I think they're listed at the end of the video. It was me doing the trumpet parts. Philippe did most of the saxes. Robin Harris, too, on alto. Jacob Cassio and Will Nannery on trombone. The awesome Glenn Chiarello on drums. Had Chris Benitez on bass. Professor Yuki played piano on it, which was awesome. And then Kelly Wask on vocals featured. Absolutely amazing, as always.
Yeah, I mean, her voice is just extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. So who actually wrote and arranged the song? Do you remember?
I'm going to throw that to Philippe.
The arrangement is by Sammy Nestico, one of the best jazz arrangers and orchestrators from the jazz era, actually. I don't have the author information right now.
That's
but,
okay.
But it's,
okay. We can get
but
to
it's
that.
an incredible chart, really demanding, and features really, really good, like all the players in the band and also the singer. It was.
I have to give some credit to Dr. Briody on some arrangement, because there's no flute part, but Barbara Marilyn Curtin playing flute with us, with the jazz orchestra, he arranged that part for her.
Oh, that's great.
We had to include Marilyn, of
course.
course.
Gotta have her.
Yeah.
So from Philippe and Rob, from your perspective, we already talked to Steve about it a little bit before, but walk us through the process of how this whole thing kind of came together.
Oh, that was, one day I was seeing all the videos that were going out from other people doing like collaborations and stuff, and I thought it would be awesome. I mean, for me, as somebody who this is my first semester of my senior year, so I don't have too many jazz orchestra concerts left in me. So I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on an experience to play some of these charts that we'd worked on all semester. So I reached out to Dr. Briody to see if it was an idea that he was into, if he supported it. And he said, take the lead, go for it. And Philippe helped out on the video, and I reached out to as many jazz orchestra members as could record, had the means to do so, and were just into it, who wanted to do it. So
I have to say a little bit, it was a really demanding project to do, because when you're on a regular studio session, you can punch yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, if you do something wrong, okay, hold them over there, we will retract just that part, and you get the track like the best you can. But in this case, it was a video taking, so everybody should do the whole thing just in one take. No matter how many takes they took to get the part, actually, but it has to be one take. And it has to be during that take, and videotape it and send it.
So, I mean, that kind of leads to my next question. As far as, from your perspective, how did you deal with that challenge? I mean, that is extremely challenging. I mean, we just did a 5x1 ourselves a few days ago, and logistically, it's kind of a nightmare to piece these things together. So how did you guys handle that?
I mean, in terms of playing it, like Philippe said, it was a challenge. I did all the trumpet parts, and like I only practiced one. When we were playing it in class and in school, I only was responsible for one part. So learning new parts like Philippe had to do and Will had to do to cover, and then to do them all in one take as close to perfectly as we can was tough. In terms of like mixing it and stuff, I mean, that's Dr. Briody's amazing ear. I mean, he was able to help out in any way that he could. And I mean, you heard the product. It was awesome.
There were, and you know, man, the thing that like outside, I mean, everybody did a great job. Like, you know, I'm a musician too, and I focused on everybody for a little bit, and I was like, man, like just really very impressed. But the horns in particular really kind of jumped at me in like a very serious way. So how did you guys like get such a tight horn sound like that? I mean,
when we are in class, Dr. Bright is really picky in terms of sound, intonation. We spend like the first part of the rehearsal just tuning our instruments and making sure that everybody's right in tune, having the correct sound, the correct intonation. And when we also run through the charts, he always makes sure that all the articulations are well played, dynamics are well played. And I mean, especially when you are playing for a singer, that's a whole different thing, because playing a big band piece that just features the big band is one thing, but playing for a singer, that's a whole nother story. Sure. And in this case, we have to, I mean, it sounds kind of redundant, but we have to accompany the singer. And I think that was one of the most difficult parts, to like adapt our sound to sound with a singer too.
Sure.
And also Kelly did a great job. She's a great singer, amazing. I can't say less than that.
Outrageous. No, I completely agree. I mean, you know, one thing that kind of struck me, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people, as you're saying, doing a lot of music videos right now because of what's going on. I've done some myself, but you know, so much about jazz is improvising and giving and receiving visual cues from people. You know, when to jump in, when to take a solo. So how much more difficult is performing a jazz song now where people are taking solos and stuff, you know, when you can't see the other person? I mean, you can see them, but it's got to be very different.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely different. I would say it's not, and it's only different. I don't want to say it's harder or easier by any means, because like you said, we could see each other. We have the videos, and if you watch the final one back, you can even see me. I'm playing drums with Glenn. I'm air drumming. Like, I hear all of this in my headphones while I'm playing it. So, you know, we layered it on top of the rhythm, and then we got piano, bass, everything layered on top. So it was a conversation. It was just more structured, if that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense.
We still got the back and forth.
I have to say also, sorry, man. I have to say that Glenn Chiarello did a great job recording the drums, because he was actually the first person in record just to the metronome. And after him, everybody just put his pieces like together. But he was the first one who did it, so I will give some credit to him.
Absolutely. So I have a kind of a general question for you two guys too. I mean, I've spoken about this privately with Dr. Briody just because I'm interested in arranging, but what do you guys, I mean, you guys have arranged things before, obviously there's this, but in general, what do you find the most challenging about arranging as a whole?
Well, Philippe is the arranger, orchestrator out of the two of us. I know for me, as I'm trying, like right before you guys brought me in, I was working on the next one that we want to do. And it's a struggle for me, to like mix the sound that you want, like if you're changing the style of something, but still have it sound like it's the original piece. That's my biggest struggle, is to make it my own while keeping it recognizable.
Absolutely. Philippe, what about you?
I think there's so many interesting and difficult parts of arranging. First of all, you have to be really accurate in what instruments you pick to do the instrumentation. For example, Dr. Brady helped me out with an arrangement that I did of a Paul McCartney song, My Love. Mm-hmm. I transformed the song from a rock ballad into a 6/8 Latin chart, and also Rob played on that. And I sent that chart to a competition. And when I picked the instruments that I think were the most accurate to be in the chart, that was a whole like trip. I was like, okay, maybe I can do saxes, or maybe I want clarinet, or maybe I want just rhythm section. That's one thing. The other thing, voicings. There's like a really big world of voicings that you can use, chord changes, reharmonizations, things that you can do to shape the arrangements and give the arrangement like your own identity, you know, because arrangers are different from each other and they all have their own identity.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Mm-hmm. So also, guys, like, you know, now that you've finished this video, it's done. Dr. Briody mixed it. You know, who are you going to try to get it out to? You did it. It's great. I mean, are you trying to send it to different places for people to see? Because, I mean, if you're not, I'm sure you've got to be thinking about that because it's awesome.
I mean, I loved it, and I couldn't be more proud to just be a part of it. Like,
Yeah.
let alone any credit that I'm getting for organizing it or anything. I mean, just to be a part of it, I wanted to share it. So, I mean, I threw it on Facebook, I think, was the only spot I put it. And I think now we're up to close to 800 views on it.
Awesome, man.
I mean, Kelly shared it. A couple other people shared it. So it's getting out there, which is awesome to see. The feedback has been amazing. So
that's great.
That's what, I mean, that was such a motivation to, I mean, once finals week is over, don't get me wrong, I'm hectic right now, but
yeah,
to start doing another one, like, for now, this is the world we're living in, is doing these kinds of videos, and
yeah,
I'm on board. I think it was a lot of fun. It was really rewarding. So
that's great.
It's always nice to play with friends, and I don't know if you know this, but Rob and I are really close, and we really enjoy playing together. You know what I mean? And also the jazz orchestra is really close. You know, like we are all friends, and we really enjoy playing with each other. And I think that was a big part of the result. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you definitely get that sense, man, that people just watching it, there is a vibe that people respect and appreciate each other's work that are doing it, which very much came across, which was great. You mentioned one. I only have one or two more questions actually, but you know, you mentioned follow-up songs, guys. Can you share anything that you might be thinking of? Is it too early to say? Any thoughts?
I mean, I'm almost done with this arrangement, so I guess it's not too early. I'm working on a Lucky Chops tune right now, if you've ever heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on their version of Hello.
Oh,
the Adele
awesome.
song. So,
oh, that's great, man.
I mean, it's a scream and trumpet part, so I'm always on board for that. So.
Yeah. So let me ask Dr. Briody a question. So Steve, like, you know, how obviously you're dealing with a lot of very talented people in one place. Like, how does that make your job easier, sometimes harder, your approach to even like tackling, mixing something like this?
Well, having that many talented people makes it easier. You know, I just try to focus on what areas of the band, what people can do, what their strengths are. And sometimes I choose songs based on that. So if we have, say, an outstanding vocalist, we used to have this vocalist named Esther, who you probably don't remember, Ryan, but I would just ask her, you know, what do you want us to play? We'll back you up.
Yeah.
So instead of, having preset things that I select, I know that, you know, for instance, this year I knew we had one of the best bands we've ever had as far as talent. So I knew that there was this Chick Corea song that the drummer Glenn Chiarello mentioned, and I knew we could play it. So a lot of it is based on the members that we do have at the time.
Okay. What Chick Corea song was it?
La Fiesta.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
That one was tough.
Yeah, I can only imagine, guys. So, I mean, what are you, for both of you, you both graduated. Philippe, you just finished, right?
Yeah, I just finished.
You both just finished. And Rob, you as well?
I'm in the fall. I still have my student teaching in the fall to finish up.
So, I mean, what are your plans once you guys graduate?
I mean, like I said, I have student teaching coming up. So hopefully this time next year, I'll be working in a public school. I would love to have my own band program, but we'll see with the way things are going right now, what happens with music programs in schools, but my fingers are crossed. I'm staying hopeful. So
that's great. What about you, Philippe?
There's a 98.5% that I'm going to go back to 5 times to do my master's. And, like start putting my name out there, start playing more, building more connections in the city or in Long Island. You know, I usually play in regional theaters here in Long Island, sometimes in Manhattan. So that's my next step.
That's great. You guys are two incredibly talented people. We are very fortunate to have you be part of the 5 Times community. I just want to say thank you guys for coming on today. You did a fantastic, fantastic job. Genuinely, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
You got it, guys. And Dr. Briody, always a pleasure. We will talk more soon.
I hope so. Thank you.
Before we end, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Briody for always supporting us, for being a great teacher and always care about the members of the group. Thank you so much, Dr. Briody. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks, guys.
And greetings to all the 5 Times community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, both of you guys. Philippe Rondon, you are the best. Rob Mutarelli, you are also the best. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, everybody. That was Dr. Steve Briody, Philippe Rondon, and Rob Mutarelli from the FTC Jazz Orchestra. Hope you enjoyed that, everyone. Please make sure to tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. to see us on Facebook Live. You can also check the archived episodes at YouTube TV, Instagram TV. If you have any idea for an event, song, performance, anything you want to share with us, let us know. Campus events at ftc.edu. That's campus events at ftc.edu. Give a good old listen to our podcast, Beneath the Bright Lights, which you can get on the podcast app, Spotify, couple other places. Any just questions about Five Towns in general, make sure you check out the website, ftc.edu. And we're going to have a great show next Thursday as well. But shh, baby's sleeping. Shh. Not going to tell you who it is right now. All right, guys. You take care. I'm Ryan Scamenti, coming from Five Towns College. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you soon. Stay healthy. All right.